So, Mark, my perfect classic lobster dish is going to be a lobster spaghetti with some fennel crisps on top, just to ring the changes a little bit. Wow, that sounds fantastic. I absolutely love lobster. I'm going to do really nice lobster, sort of lightly grilled with grapefruit butter and some crushed potatoes with some coriander and spring onions in.
Mark is kicking off with the flavoured butter for his lobster.
We're going to use the zest and the juice of these two lovely grapefruits, pink grapefruits. You can use other ones as well. I've never really thought to use it with lobster. It's quite a classic thing in your mind? Citrus and lobster go well, so you can do a mixture of ones, you know, lemon, grapefruit. So you don't want too much zest, sort of about half of each one. And what we want to do is we want to intensify the flavour of this before we put it into the butter.
Once Mark has juiced the pink grapefruits, he adds it all to a hot pan to simmer and reduce, which will intensify both the colour and flavour and remove some of the acidity. He then drops his potatoes into salted boiling water before turning his attention to the star of the dish, the lobster, which has been pre-cooked. He starts by removing the tail. This comes out very easily. Don't ever throw this away. Always keep this for the next day to make some lovely soup or bisque or something like that. So you've cracked that middle line down, and then you just need to sort of open it up. He removes the tail meat from the shell in one piece and trims it before moving on to the claws.
You've got this piece here which runs right through the claw. So the best way to do that is snap it up, which removes, and then bring it back down and pull gently. And you should be able to take that whole thing out in one go. Quite a bit of liquid coming out of that. Does that mean it's sort of nice and freshly cooked?
Absolutely,
not overcooked?
yeah. And you just put it into your liquid and ideally let it cool down in the stock as well to keep all the flavour in. Look at that lovely
really
nugget of meat.
Tender.
That's delicious, yeah.
With all the lobster meat removed, Mark can turn his attention back to his grapefruit juice, which has now been reduced.
Now, because I want to put this juice into cold butter and make a set butter, you need it to cool down.
Mark's cooled juice has been passed through a sieve to remove the zest.
So you want softened butter, that is absolutely perfect.
Salted or unsalted?
Well, I always prefer to use salted butter, but it really doesn't matter, to be honest. So nice and soft like this is the perfect... You don't want it melted, that's wrong. You want to spring it out and let it come to room temperature. And then add half at a time, because it's just easier to mix in that way, really.
Once all the juice is mixed in, Mark empties the butter on a sheet of cling film and rolls into a sausage.
But a little tip is once you've got to that stage, squeeze the air here, and then get another piece of cling film just loosely on your board. This now sticks, so you just roll it along like this, you see.
Ooh, very fancy.
And that just helps you get it into a really perfect shape, and then you're going to get a nice, even slice of butter. So you've got that there.
It then needs to go into the fridge to set. Time for Jo to get cracking with her classic lobster spaghetti, and she's starting with her fennel crisp garnish.
Finely sliced. If you've got a guard, use a guard. You can do it with a knife. I don't want them too thin, because they'll go too brown and crunchy. But I just want to coat them in a little bit of salted flour.
Yes.
And then I've got a wok here, and then it needs to just sizzle.
After a few minutes, the fennel is golden brown and ready to drain. Jo seasons the fennel crisps and moves on to the bisque sauce for her lobster spaghetti. So I've kept all of the meat, and that's in the fridge. But I've got all the shells here, which have just been chopped down and...
That's good. So basically, we spoke about my bit with the shells, and now you're going to show how to make the beef.
I'm actually going to... Absolutely.
There you go.
Jo adds oil and butter to a hot pan and then adds the lobster shells along with diced carrot, onion and fennel.
Now, they're softening down, so let's just add some tomato puree.
OK.
So this will just add some richness to the colour, rather than a massive tomato flavour.
Yeah, basically gives it a little bit of body as well.
Yeah.
Once the vegetables have softened slightly, she adds brandy.
Only a tablespoon.
And fish stock.
So I'm just going to leave that to simmer and reduce by about a third. So
lovely.
It's intensified, so I shall leave that there.
Smells amazing.
Mark is hoping his fresh citrus lobster is what the judges are looking for, whereas Jo is banking on her rich lobster spaghetti hitting the spot. Which one will they prefer?